Today we are looking at negative doubles. Now, negative doubles is essentially a fancy name for a takeout double. So when we first learn about takeout doubles, we learn about one something here, double from the overcaller. But what we can use doubles for is all different players can use the doubles, and they basically mean very similar meanings. They mean, I'd like you to bid partner. I don't have a natural bid available that makes a lot of sense, so I can't bid X, Y, or Z for certain reasons. So what a negative double is an adaptation of a takeout double, and it's when the responder makes the double. Rather than the overcaller or the opener or the responder to the overcaller, it's specifically the responder. So one banana, one apple double. Now, if you weren't playing negative doubles is kind of a special agreement on what that double means. If you weren't playing negative doubles, that double here, so for example, one club, one spade double, that would just be normal takeout. I want to respond, but it's probable that their bid has upset you in some way, by you want to bid one heart, for example. A negative double is adapting that to mean something specific. So it's agreeing that a double from responder is a specific message, not a generic message of I want you to bid, shrug shoulders. A negative double is something specific. So it agrees that the responder, when they make a double, it says something direct, rather than a general kind of inquiry. Now, the reason negative doubles are good is because they focus on the majors. So surprise, surprise, we want to find fits in the majors. So negative doubles is an adaptation of the takeout double by the responder, which focuses on the major suits. So it looks to try and find major fits in preference to looking for just any suit from partner. So it puts more emphasis on the majors and less emphasis on whether you can tolerate the minors or not. If you like, it sort of casts the minors by the wayside to focus in on the major suits. So what a negative double is double by responder, like that, and it says, I have 4 cards or more in the highest unbid suit. The highest unbid suit, because that basically means you're showing a major. It could go 1 heart, 1 spade, or 1 spade, 2 hearts, and then a negative double would, in theory, show diamonds. But a negative double showing the highest unbid suit, basically what it's doing is it's focusing on the major aspect. Normally for a takeout double, you need shortage in their suit, tolerance for the other suits, and you don't mind what your partner bids. A negative double is specific in that you absolutely have 4 or more cards in the major, rather than just 3, depending on whether you play normal takeout doubles or negative doubles. So a negative double really is changing the way a responder doubles. It's allowing them to double more freely in that they don't necessarily have to have shortage in spades. It just says I have 4 cards in the highest unbid suit. And that's all it really says. So in this instance, what the double says from north is that I have 4 or more hearts. Okay? Points-wise, it's the level at which you're doubling at. So given that we are doubling at the 1 level, to double at the 1 level, you need 1 level responsive points, i.e. 6+. Or a good 5 if you're feeling excited. So double here shows 4 or more hearts and 6 or more points. It's as if you've responded 1 heart. The reason these are so useful is because when they overcall, they often remove your ability to be able to bid your suit naturally, especially at the 1 level. If they bid jump to 2 diamonds, they've removed your ability to be able to bid your suit naturally. So what a negative double does is it hones in on the majors, and it looks to try and find the major fits primarily, and it looks to use the double to basically facilitate that. Rather than it being a general message, it's more of a specific message. Okay? So the level at which you're doubling at is the number of points you require. So if this bidding was 1 spade, 2 clubs, the suit hasn't changed, because the highest unbid suit here is still hearts. By the way, highest, I mean highest ranking, so that's why it's majors. The highest unbid suit here is hearts, but we are now doubling at the 2 level. So how many points do you expect North to have for that double now? 10-ish. Good 9, whatever, I'm not going to bite your hand off for a good 9. But essentially, yeah, 10-ish. You want about 10 to respond at the 2 level. So doubling at the 2 level is the same thing. What you're essentially doing here is bidding 2 hearts. So why haven't I just bid 2 hearts? Well, how many hearts would 2 hearts show? 5. Categorically 5. Whenever you introduce a major at the 2 level, it is always 5, whoever you are, always. So therefore, this double, how many hearts do you think North's got?
4.
4. Right, they've shown 10 plus points and 4 or more cards in the highest unbid suit. So they're showing 4 or more hearts. However, if they had 5 hearts, they would have bid 2 hearts, wouldn't they?
Oh, yeah.
So this solves a different problem. A different problem in the sense that their overcall has pushed you to a level where your heart, your natural heart bid, would show more hearts than you have. So this, by inference, is actually exactly 4 hearts. Because if they had 5, they would have bid 2 hearts. With me? Yeah. So you can even kind of dwindle it down even more and get specific information about your partner's hand. And the reason we actually do this, rather than playing this as a normal takeout double, is because the first bid responder makes is a really critical juncture of what contract north-south, in this instance the opening side, are likely to play in. So being able to show a major with your double is a very useful thing, because you need to try to find a major fit very quickly before the opponents start bullying you. And this happens more often when they've overcalled. They tend to start bullying you because that's their idea, they're trying to get in your way. So using this bid to show a major specifically is more useful than using it as just a general takeout bid. Okay? For example, if East were to bid 3 clubs, which is quite a common thing they will raise, imagine your partner had 5 spades and 4 hearts, and let's say 14 points. If this were a generic takeout bid, they don't know whether to bid 3 hearts or not, because they don't know if you actually have 4 hearts or not. Whereas playing this as a negative double, they know you absolutely have 4 cards in the other major. Okay, so in one respect, it's making this double more stringent, more restricted, because you have to have 4 cards in the major. But in the other aspect, you don't need shortage in their suit. You don't really need to be able to tolerate what partner's doing, because it's replacing your natural bid. So you actually can make them more frequently in the long run. Okay, so that's all there really is to negative doubles. Opener overcall at double says, I would have bid the highest unbid suit, which is often spades, sometimes hearts, very rarely diamonds, and never clubs. Because it can't be, because they've only bid 2. Okay?
And if you're playing, if you're just playing, you have to indicate that you're playing negative doubles.
Yeah, so you don't have to alert it, because it is still a takeout double of sorts. But if the opponents ask you, you have to say that's a negative double. And if they want to know, you have to tell them the shape requirement. So that hand will have 4 hearts, for example. You don't have to say that with that unprovoked. If they ask you, you have to tell them, but you don't have to say otherwise. You don't need to alert it or anything, because it's considered takeout and considered normal-ish. Okay? Now there are some interesting inferences with playing negative doubles, but basically speaking, if you double as responder, you've got 4 cards in the highest unbid suit. That's really all there is to it, but there are some interesting kind of things you can draw. For example, like this one, where this one is exactly 4 hearts, because you would bid 2 hearts otherwise. There are other situations where that happens. Now, given that you're playing negative doubles, well, today you are certainly, this sequence is quite interesting. Well, I think it's interesting, and that is, after they overcall and they don't disrupt your 1 level response. So here, let's say we had 4 spades. Let's give us a hand. Let's make it real. Okay, so South opens a diamond, West overcall a heart. Now, without West overcall, we would have responded 1 spade. Okay, I hope we're all happy with that. With West overcall, that has not disrupted our 1 spade bid, has it? We can still bid 1 spade. So we don't need negative doubles. So you could ignore they exist and bid as normal. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, in my opinion, that's somewhat wasteful. Because if you did double, what would partner think you have?
4.
Exactly 4.
4 spades. So what you can now do is be fancy, in that if you double, it's 4 spades. And if you bid 1 spade, it's 5 plus spades. Because you might as well differentiate. There's no point having doubles showing 4 spades and 1 spade showing 4 spades, is there? There's no point. So West overcall has actually given you more definition, because you now have double as an available bid, whereas if it was 1 diamond pass, you can't double, because you can't double your partner. So one inference of negative doubles, when it goes 1 diamond, 1 heart double, you know they have exactly 4 cards in spades. And that's because they can bid their suit. Similar to the one before with the 2 hearts or double. Same thing, if they had 5 cards, they could bid it. With 4 cards, they would double. So with negative doubles, it's 4 or more cards. Unless they could bid their suit naturally, then it must be exactly 4 cards. Okay? And you can work that out. You don't have to kind of memorise that in a big long bullet point, if you like. You can work it out on the fly. Here, if you're 1 diamond, 1 heart double, playing negative doubles, you know your partner's got spades, you could ask yourself, why didn't you bid 1 spade? And then you realise, oh, it's because they haven't got 5, they must only have 4. If they have chosen to double overbidding their suit, it's because they haven't got 5. That's the yes.
I thought you could bid 1 spade with 4 as respondent.
You can bid 1 spade with 4. If this were a pass, 1 spade is the correct bid. What I'm saying is, by them opening 1 heart, you've now got extra definition.
Right.
So what I'm saying is, because you're playing negative doubles, you can now be fancy in the sense that 1 spade can now be 5 because double shows 4. With me?
So if you weren't playing negative doubles, you could bid
1 spade. Yes.
That's right.
Yeah. Not playing negative doubles. 1 spade is a sound bid.
Right. Yeah.
But playing negative doubles, because doubles show specifically 4 spades,
Yes.
1 spade might as well be 5 or more.
Yeah.
Okay. So what that means is, if this were the hand now, well, on that hand you would double, right? Showing 4 spades. By bidding 1 spade on, let's say, that hand, you would now bid 1 spade. You find fits faster. Can't tell you how important it is to find fits when they are overcalling, because they tend to also find fits. So when they bid 2 hearts, your partner knows to raise to 2 spades on only 3 card support, whereas otherwise they might have had a difficult time of doing so. You with me? So this, while it seems somewhat sort of, whatever, it's actually quite a big difference being able to show a 4 card suit and a 5 card suit as responder, because you find fits a lot faster when you have 5 or more cards. Okay? Happy? Yeah? Yeah, good, right. Now, one more little thing. So far, with the bidding sequences, I have done either major minor or minor major, so there's been 1 major left. There are times where both majors are left, and that is if your partner opens minor and they overcall the other minor. For example, 1 club, 1 diamond. Now here you can bid 1 heart naturally, 1 spade naturally, or double. So you have all sorts of different combinations of how you could show a major orientated hand. So the way that negative doubles work here, given that negative doubles are looked to show majors, a negative double here becomes special because it shows both majors. So when no majors have been mentioned, I want to point out, by the way, this is a rare case, but when it goes minor minor, double is both majors when you're playing negative doubles, i.e. 4-4. Tends to be 4-4 because if you were 5-4 you would have probably bid your 5 intending to bid your 4 on the next round. So something like, and again, if you're doubling at the 1 level, you need 1 level responsive points. Doubling at the 2 level, you need 2 level responsive points, so that's 6 and 10-ish. So this double, they've actually helped you again. By West overcalling 1 diamond, they have allowed you to double to show both majors. That's only when neither major has been bid by anyone, and only when you can afford to double based on your points. So here we would need 6 points to make the double. If it was 1 diamond, 2 clubs, you would need more like 10 to make the double. Okay? If you were 5-4, you have an option. You could either bid 1 spade, or you could double showing 4-4. My personal preference is to bid 1 spade because you've got a 5 card suit now. And then hopefully follow it with 2 hearts depending on what your partner does, whether they bid no trumps or whatever. Okay? So when they bid minor minor, negative double becomes special in the sense that it shows both majors. This is the only time a negative double shows more than 1 suit. In every other sequence, a negative double shows specifically the highest ranking unbid suit, which is almost always spades or hearts. Alright?
If you're at the 2 level West Big 2 and you've got a 4-4 in North, but you've got less than 10 points, is that a pass?
Yes.
Right.
If that were your hand, I would pass.
Yeah.
I'm not particularly happy with having to pass, but I would pass. And then you find that what happens is South has to do something to stop 2 diamonds being the contract, in the hope that South comes in with the double themselves, which is Takeout, and then you bid and you get back into it. The problem with doubling here is you're lying too much about your points. So I would pass through gritted teeth kind of thing. What might happen is you pass, they bid 3 diamonds, that cuts your partner out because they can't bid at 3 level, and suddenly they've bought the bidding. Well, they've won, essentially. But yeah, that's life. There are obviously the occasional time where it goes both majors, like that. Here, you can play this as all sorts of different things. A negative double, strictly speaking, given that it's the highest unbid suit, strictly speaking, a negative double here would show diamonds, given that diamonds are the highest ranking unbid suit. But for me, what I prefer, given that no majors are now available, I prefer to revert to a natural takeout double in this situation. So you revert to normality. in that a negative double here is kind of pointless because neither major, you can't have either major. Because if you had hearts, you'd be supporting hearts. And if you had spades, you'd be bidding some number of no trumps, I assume. So therefore, double here, for me, would just revert to kind of normal takeout. I.e., I want to bid, but my bid doesn't work, which typically means you haven't got quite enough points to bid at the 2 level. Something like 7 points with 4 clubs and 3 diamonds or something like that. Okay? So both minors, double is both majors. Both majors, double is takeout. And the idea behind that is because the negative double is looking for a major fit, the more majors available, the more excited the negative double is. The less majors available, the less bothered you are about negative doubles. You see? So it's all major obsessed. We're obsessed with trying to show as many majors as possible.
But
Okay.
if you've got 10 points and 4 hearts in north, what would you do?
3 hearts. Support the hearts.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So this
Yeah.
by inference suggests you haven't got a heart fit. Because
Well,
otherwise you'd be
imagine it
supporting.
was 3. You don't know whether your partner's got 4.
Right. You might have 3 hearts and 4
Or it
clubs.
might
And
be 4. Or might
yeah,
be 5.
exactly. Yeah. You might have a 3-card heart
Yeah.
support. I would expect you to have some tolerance for partner suit making a takeout double. The negative double, what you tend to find is it works as if the best way to kind of continue on after a negative double starts is you yourself, the doubler, pretend you've responded in the highest unbid suit, and then you bid normally. So in the situation of, let's say, 1 heart, 2 clubs, which is, now this is negative, essentially you treat it as if you yourself have bid 2 spades showing 10 plus points, but knowing that you've only shown 4 spades rather than 5 spades. So if your partner then bids something, let's say 2 hearts, you can now bid on as normal. So if you have more points, you Q bid, or you bid no trumps, or you bid a new suit to show forcing hand or whatever. But if you treat it as if you bid the suit you're showing, and your partner treats it as if you bid the suit you're showing, the bidding continues as normal.
Yeah, but you're not going to really get. So you won't get beyond game, and maybe game is going to be tough because of the point count.
Depends.
At the lower level.
It all depends. It depends on how good the opener is. It depends on whether you're actually got extras for your this. Could be 10, or it could be 15. It could be 20.
Oh, so
in
you
theory.
play it as a much larger.
Yeah, because it's 10 plus, just like a 2-level response would be 10 plus. In theory, you could be showing 4 spades thinking of 6 no trumps or 7 no trumps. In theory. I mean, it won't happen very often because if they've overcalled, you tend not to have that many points together. But yeah, this is 10 to whatever.
So you wouldn't cube it.
A cubed would agree hearts in this instance,
Yeah. Okay.
so double would show spades. What I'm saying is really the negative double is just the exact same thing as just bidding your suit naturally, but it solves the problem of when bidding your suit is 5 cards or their bid stops you from being able to bid your suit, i.e. 1 club, 1 spade, stopping you from bidding 1 heart, for example. Okay, so what it does is it solves the problem of their overcall upsetting you, which is a very useful tool to be able to solve because often their overcalls upset you. Not literally, but bridge-wise. Not maybe literally. So that's all there really is to a negative double. 1 banana, 1 apple, double, highest unbid suit. Okay? Right, I'm just going to do a couple of hands then. Let's have a look at a couple of examples. Okay, 1 diamond from south, our partner. 1 spade from west. What do you want to do?
Double.
Double, which says what?
4 hearts.
4 or more hearts, interestingly. Because the reason it's 4 plus hearts is because you might not have the points to be able to bid 2 hearts. So that shows 6 plus points. I suppose I should put that. And 4 plus hearts. But you might have 5 hearts, but we're not enough points to bid 2 hearts. With me? Because they can't bid their suit at the 1 level, we can't know it's definitely 4. You with me? Alright. Why aren't we supporting diamonds? We could bid 3 diamonds, couldn't we? Showing 10 to 12 with a diamond fit. Because we'd rather show the major, exactly. Silly question. If I change the opening bids, opening and overcalling bids to this, 1 heart, 1 spade, what now?
Support the heart.
Support the hearts. Double, in theory, would show diamonds, although when both majors are gone, double is just kind of takeout. But we don't want to double, because we want to support the hearts. So negative double doesn't supersede null bidding. We want to support their hearts because we like having a heart fit. So how many hearts do you want to bid? Just tell the pessimists and the optimists in the room.
No, I thought you said, I read it down, a second level major always implies 5 cards,
Yes.
but you haven't got 5 then.
Well, when supporting partner, sorry. When you're supporting partner, you only need a fit. I was talking second level major when it's a new suit
Okay.
is always 5 or more cards. Yeah. Now, what would double show?
It'd be saying spades, wouldn't it?
Okay, so we can't do that. Can't support the clubs. There's 2 options, in my opinion. Actually, 3 options. You could pass and wait to see if your partner doubles and then choose to defend hearts. You could bid 2 diamonds. Why is bidding 2 diamonds on a 4-card suit okay, but bidding 2 of a major not?
Because you can lie on a minor.
Because we don't care about minors, exactly. So therefore, 2 diamonds is an option, which would say what?
10 points.
10 plus points. 4 or more diamonds in theory, although 5 would be nice. One of the options is pass, and the other option, 2 no trumps.
But 2 no trumps is showing higher points, isn't it?
10 to 12 as responder. As responding. So 10 to 12 with a heart stopper, that's true as well, isn't it? The point here is double doesn't apply because we don't have spades. Yeah? Swap those round. Now what we do?
Double.
Now we're doubling. And if it was that,
2 spades. 1 spade.
there was 1, 2 and 3 there. 1 spade. And notice the difference, double is 4, so 1 spade is 5. Okay? Get it?
Yeah.
Easy, innit?
Yeah.